Okay, so how do we actually validate these niches? How do we know if these niches are going to give us money or not? Well, first of all, we need to take one of these. Let's just pick any random one. Let's say rock climbing. So this one, the name of the book was Rock Climbing Technique. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and always in incognito mode, because incognito mode means Amazon's not going to look at your cookies. So it's not going to manipulate the searches that are more relevant to you. It's going to show you what a normal shopper would find if it's their first time searching for the books that they're trying to search for. So I'm going to open a brand new tab. We don't need that anymore. And let's just start typing rock and see if climbing comes up. So we have rock, anything with books. We only have rock, paper, scissors book. I'm going to write that down anyway. I want to go see what that looks like, because I don't know what a rock, paper, scissors book is supposed to be. But let's start typing rock C. And here we have rock climbing shoes, holds, chalk, but no book yet. But let's just keep going. Rock climbing gear, rock climbing gifts. If I type in B, there should be book. There we go, rock climbing book. So now we know that rock climbing book showed up in the auto search. So that means that people are searching for rock climbing book. Let me just type in here, are people searching for it? This basically means, is it coming up on the auto search? And here, instead of rock climbing technique, let me type in rock climbing book. Now, are people searching for it? Yes, they are. So I want to make that green. So I know, yes, they are searching rock climbing book. Now, second thing, once you go on rock climbing book, I'm going to press spacebar and see, are even more sub niches coming up for that book? So here we have rock climbing book for kids. Let me open a new one here. Now, this is not what I do with every single niche. I know how to do it in my mind. But if you start writing this down, you're going to know instantly what you're trying to look for if you do this consistently. So let's just type in rock climbing book for kids. Great. So that's one sub niche. What else? Rock climbing technique book. That might be something that we're looking for. Rock climbing technique book. Next one, rock climbing book knot. So before we found some knots, a book about how to tie knots for camping and all of that. Maybe there are people looking specifically for rock climbing books only for knots. So let's type in rock climbing book knots. Anything different? Rock climbing book for teens, that's different than for kids. So let's just try that. Rock climbing book for teens. And then we got a logbook. We're not trying to do a logbook, that's more low content. Rock climbing training book. Let's try that one as well. So you can see, just from our original rock climbing book idea, because people were searching the broad version of that niche, which is rock climbing book, once we search that in the auto search, we can just let go of it and let Amazon do its thing. And if people are actually searching constantly for a rock climbing book, more options are going to come up for you, which are even more specific. So for kids is a different niche than for teens, or just a general rock climbing training book. Because for kids, you're going to have to do illustrations and annotations and explain everything in a very simple manner. But a normal rock climbing training book is going to be a completely different book because it's a completely different target audience. So now let's just start going through those niches that we found to see what we can do. So let's just pick rock climbing books for kids. Now, the first thing we're trying to do is see if the search results up here are less than 5,000. Now, these results don't actually matter, but I find that if it's 5,000 or below, there's more of a chance of ticking the other boxes you need for a profitable niche. So if this one here said 20,000, then I know that it's probably very unlikely that it's going to tick all the other boxes we need for that niche. But now that it says 1,000, I know that we can move on to step 2, which is to see how many people are actually selling. What's the supply looking like? Because we know there's demand because people are searching for it. And now we're trying to find if the supply is good or not. So we're only looking for rock climbing book for kids. So is this a rock climbing book for kids? It looks like it. Now, another way that you're going to see if there's demand or not is you need to see if the books are selling or if they're not selling. Now, if you don't have the extension that I talked about, that means you're going to have to open up the book, and then let's say this is one of our competitors because it's a rock climbing book for kids. Then you have to go down, keep going down, and then here you're going to have to keep looking at the ABSL number here. But there's an even easier way for you to figure out if it's selling or not by simply installing an extension. I'm going to type in Google Chrome Store, and then I want DS Amazon Quick View. Now I need this one. Oh, I already have it installed. So I just need to activate it, manage extensions, and DS Amazon Quick View. We want to go details and then allow for incognito. There we go. And now we're allowed to use it in incognito. So now we have this. If I refresh, you can see the search results come up normally. But as soon as I refresh it, after installing that extension, you're going to see that these little boxes popped up. Now I get to see the exact number without even having to click on it. So I can instantly see which books are selling and which ones are not. So here we typed in rock climbing book for kids is under 5,000 results. So we can start going inside and seeing who's our competitor. Now, we talked about our competitors. They have to have an ABSR number of 100,000 or below. That means they're actually selling. So let's just scroll down and see which ones have under 100,000 or below. This one's on 71, so let's open that up in a new tab. 1,000,000, 190 million, 300,000. So it looks like no one is selling, but this book is on 2,000 and it's a mystery in Rocky Mountain National Park mystery series. So it's a fiction book. But yeah, it looks like none of them are selling. So I'm going to disregard this niche. So here I'm going to type, are the books selling? Now they're not selling. So I know that for kids is not good. What about rock climbing technique book? So let's go all the way up and type in rock climbing. Let's see what else comes up. Rock climbing technique book, 380 results. Awesome. Now this one we're waiting to see. So this one's selling. This is our competitor. Let's open that up. This one's on 1 million, not selling. This one's on 200,000, not selling. 77,000. I think this is a fiction book. Rock climbing 500,000, 150,000. So there's not a lot. This is not even a rock climbing book. 145. So it looks like, again, they're not selling. This is on 14,000, mountaineering. So it looks like the rock climbing niche, because there's only one guy selling. I don't want to publish in a niche where only one guy is selling. Let's try rock climbing book knots as well. Maybe that one is selling. So this one's 1 million. This is not a book. 1,000,000, 200,000, 150,000, 300,000. These are not books. Most crucial knots. Okay, let's just type in how to tie knots. Maybe rock climbing is too specific. How to tie knots, and let's see what else comes up. For kids, for 6-year-olds. So it looks like it's for kids. How to tie knots for kids. 560 results. So now we can go in and see if they're selling again. This guy's not selling. This guy's on barely selling, so 100,000. This guy's on 100,000. 1 million. 96, so close to 100,000. Not selling, not selling. This one's selling. My first book of knots, the Useful Knots book. So it looks like some of them are actually selling. The All-Purpose Knots Bible, 75,000. So this might be a potential niche that I'm looking at. Okay, let's go back to our spreadsheet and let's try a completely different niche. So soap making book. Let's try that. Let's try typing in soap. I type in making and we are making kids making book pops up. Let's see what else comes up. So you have for adults, for beginners, goat. I don't know what that means. Lard, so making soap from goats. I don't know how soap is made anyway, so. And we have for kids. So the main ones are for kids, for adults, or for beginners. Let's try for kids. 986 results, which is amazing. And now again, we know that there's demand because it popped up in the auto search. Now let's see if there's demand by seeing if the books are selling. So natural soap making, this one's selling. Not selling, not selling. Nope, nope, nope. No, 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 no. So see, as I'm scrolling down, if you see that most of them on page 1 are not selling, it probably means that it's not a good niche to publish. So this one is probably a no, because only this guy's selling. And it's for beginners, it's not even for kids. So soap making, I'm not even gonna look into it. Let's try ferret. So how to train a ferret or something. If I type in ferret, book, there we go, book pops up, and let's see what other things pop up. So ferret book for kids, ferret coloring book for adults. Let's try ferret book for kids. 2,000 results. So now, because it's not really 100% a keyword that someone's going to type in, I'm trying to find how they would type it in by looking at the competitors' book covers. So facts about ferrets, photos and fun facts. So it looks like ferret books are not selling. Let's try something else. Pet rabbit. Let's see if pet rabbits are selling. So right now, I'm just trying to see if there's demand by looking at if the keyword comes up. So can you see, here I have pet rabbit. Let's try it again. Pet rabbit, and then is book. No books come up. B, there we go, pet rabbit book. And then pet rabbit care book and for kids come up. So those are basically the keywords that people are using to find these books. Let's try pet rabbit care book. So this one has 30,000 results. So to me, that just tells me it's not even worth going in and researching, because there's probably so many books and the supply is extremely high. And if you remember, one of the things that we said, we don't want high supply. But anyway, let's just still see if they're selling or not. This guy's advertising, not selling. This guy's selling, not 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 selling. So see, if I click a keyword that Amazon already gives me, which is pet rabbit care book, or let's just try rabbit care book. There we go, 4,000. So now we can actually, this is more likely a keyword that's going to help you out, because 30,000 against 4,000, you're obviously going to succeed more with 4,000. So the people that are looking for these books probably don't type in pet rabbit care book. There we go. So pet is only one of the keywords. They type in rabbit care book for kids. We got indoor rabbit care guidebook, taking care, but they're all talking about the same thing. So we want to search the broadest version of that keyword. So rabbit care book is the broadest version. It's on 4,000 results, and let's see if they're selling. Not selling, selling. This one's selling as well. So 2 selling, not selling, not selling, not selling, not selling, not selling, and this one's selling. So I'm going to open up this one because I found 3 that are selling now, which means that those 3 are selling and the supply is super low. So what I'm trying to do now that I found this, because first of all, it popped up in the auto search, which means there's demand. There's also 3 books selling, which means those 3 books are doing something correct for them to be selling. But all the other books are not selling, so they're probably doing something wrong. Now, my responsibility right now is to see what the people that are selling are doing correct and what the people that are not selling are doing wrong. So rabbit care book, this guy's selling. Which one's the other one? This guy's selling. And this guy's selling. So the first thing that I like to do is always look at the reviews. If the reviews are low, we already know that they're selling because we opened in a new tab. If one of these guys have super low reviews and is still selling, it means that I can compete in that niche. It means the reviews are not going to hold me back from competing in this niche. So all things rabbits for kids, filled with plenty of facts, photos, and fun to learn. So it's not really about how to look after a rabbit. It's more about rabbit facts. So let me just open up this sheet and type in rabbit fact, because that might be a completely different book. It's about looking after rabbits. So now we know this is probably in the rabbits fact. Let's see if there's actually a rabbits fact niche. If I type in rabbits fact, there we go. So there's facts right here. Space to see if anything else comes up. Facts book. So let's just see if that comes up. We have 4,000 results. It's under 5,000. So now we can go in and see which ones are selling and which ones are not. This guy is selling. It's the one that we just opened. Now this guy, I don't know if he's selling or not, but he has 2 reviews and he's on $15.99. If this guy is selling, that will be a good indication of this is a good niche to publish in. Now let's see if he's selling or not. He's not selling at all. If this guy was selling at $16 for 2 reviews and he had a good ASIN, that would have been a very good indication that I can publish a new book, have a high price, and not need reviews to start making money. So this is the original guy, not selling, 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 not selling. So it looks like none of them are selling. This is not a rabbit book, so not selling, not selling, not selling. So out of all the competitors, only one guy is selling. In the theory part, we talked about money allocation. From this niche, in the rabbits fact niche, only one guy is selling. And even though he has super low reviews, the money allocation is horrible. Now, you could make a new book and make sure it's better than this guy, and you might be able to get his sales, but it looks like the money isn't being shared. Now, if you make your book and it's not able to compete with this guy, you don't have any other backup guys to compete with. You can only compete with one guy. If there was 4 other ones selling, then even if you couldn't compete with this guy, you could probably compete with the other ones and still get some of their sales. But this one, it's either you're going to get this guy's sales or you're not. So because there's only one guy in this niche that is selling, the money allocation is not good for me, so I'm not going to publish in this niche. Let's take this one away. Let's see everything pet rabbit handbook. So now there's only 2 selling, and this guy has 700 reviews and this guy has 500 reviews, and these are the only 2 selling. So it most likely means that I need a high amount of reviews in order to compete with these guys. Even though this is a terrible book cover, it has the reviews to back it up and it has all the sales data, so Amazon helps it make more sales. So rabbits is not a niche that I would publish in, and I'll just keep going through this process until I find something that matches with everything we talked about. Now let's see if any of these might actually help. No grid survival. So I just type in no GR and a bunch of them come up. No grid survival project, no grid survival book, no grid survival. So no grid survival is a very, very good keyword. There's a lot of demand because there's different variations of it that pop up in the auto search. So no grid survival book. If I press space, you have off grid survival book, living off the grid, no grid survival project book news. See, so there's a bunch of different keywords. People are always searching for no grid survival books. Now let's just click search and see how many there are out there. So no grid survival book is a very broad keyword. We don't have a target audience or anything, and we're only getting 1,000 results. So that tells us, because it's under 5,000, we can go in and see if there's demand or not. So no grid survival, this one's selling 7,000. This one's selling. No grid survival, 3,000. This one's selling. No grid survival, don't know if we open this, but this guy's selling. We open this one. Let's keep going. 40,000 no grid survival projects. This guy's selling. 129, I'm going to avoid that guy. 86, this guy's selling. 419, nope. This one, 8,000, this guy's selling. 158, no. 95, let's add this guy as well. 141, no, no. 69, let's go. 1000, open this guy. So now because there's a lot, I'm going to go on page 2 as well, just to make sure that I'm getting all the strong competitors. So when the grid goes down, this is a different way. This is the same. It's in this niche. It's just a different title. Survival Medicine Handbook, no. Off the grid power, yep. Open this one up. This one as well. Open this one up. Grid down situation. Open this one up. No grid survival not selling. Survival handbook. They will guys survive anywhere. I don't know if this is in the niche. Prepper survival Bible. No. No. Okay. So let's just look at what we opened up. We opened up 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the same one. There. That's the same one. Let's close this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't know if there's any of the same. I think this is the same. Yep. So around 13 different competitors. That's on page 1 and 2. That's without us scrolling down and see if there are any other ones that pop up here. So this one here, I don't think I opened this one up. Did I? Doesn't look like I did. Nope, nope. Okay, so this guy, this is the guy that we just opened up. If he's selling as well, 17,000, so he's selling as well, and he's not even on page 1. So if you scroll down, look at all of these ones. This is the guy that I helped as well. Let's see if he's selling. Of course he's selling. I made the book. Why would he not sell? He's on 55,000. So this guy, he's not even ranking well. I made all this nice A+ content, by the way. But anyway, this guy's not even ranking well. He's not even on page 1, and he's still selling, which means that this niche has an extremely high supply. And look at the reviews: 66, 100, 100, 39, 23, 22, 98. So the money allocation is spread out between all the books. So even though the supply is super, super high, personally, I wouldn't publish in this niche because I don't want to get the breadcrumbs. I want to be the authority figure. And right now, there's just way too many people to compete with. But this niche, if you wanted to go into this niche, you can see that the money allocation is even because all of these guys that we just opened up are selling, but the reviews are completely different. So this guy's selling at 66, but this guy's selling at 39, and he only has a 3.3 rating. It's not like his rating is good. So if you scroll down, he's at 40,000. So he's probably selling around 5 copies a day. So you're just going in this niche and trying to find if there is demand for this niche. Now, if you publish a book in this niche, there's a high chance that you can make some money off it. But there are a lot of people that you are competing with. Personally, this is too many for me, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't publish in this niche, but there is a lot of competition. I like to go anywhere from 3 or 4 books to 8 or 10 books. This one has over 14. And if I keep going inside and finding other books in the carousels, it's probably going to go up to 20, 25 main competitors. But we know that this niche has demand because the auto search showed us a bunch of different no-grid survival book keywords, which means people are searching for it. The search results are under 5,000, which means we can go in and validate that niche, see if there is demand, see if there are competitors that are selling. And then we opened up all the competitors that are selling, and then we saw that there was just too many competitors. If this niche had 8 or 7 or 6 main people, and again, the money was spread out evenly because some of them had 20 reviews, other ones had 80 reviews, other ones had 150 reviews, but they were all selling. So reviews wasn't going to hold you back. So if this was around 8 books, I would have probably published in this niche because I saw that there's demand with the auto search. I saw that there's demand because our competitors were selling. And I saw that the supply was low because there's probably going to be 8 books. But now, the only reason I'm not going to publish in this niche is because there's just too many competitors selling. Now, if you can make a really good book on no-grid survival, and if you're an expert in no-grid survival, or you just think you can make a better book than everyone else, then you can publish in this niche because the supply only matters because at the end of the day, it's all about you making the best possible book for that niche. You want to be the main choice. So if someone types in no-grid survival book, I want to be the guy that pops up and everyone says, oh wow, this looks completely different from everyone else. That's my goal. That's how I make thousands every single month. Not by being the second best or the third best or the fourth best, but it's by being the best in the niche so you're the obvious choice. You get 80% of the sales. And if there are too many people to compete with, it's just making it slightly harder for me. So I can just keep going down the list, and then for every single keyword, you're probably going to find other niches for different target audiences or different ways to write the word. And then you're looking through the niches to see, are reviews going to be a problem? Are there too many competitors? Are there too little competitors? Is no one selling? Is everyone selling? Just go in and extract all the information that we talked about in the theory to find the niche that has demand with the auto search, demand because your competitors are selling, and then low supply because there's very few competitors that are selling, even though the demand is super high. Now, once you find your niches that fit that criteria, you can move on to the next step.